door right there.
Run. With a head of steam moving to the outside chin. Richie says it can't be done. Tony Shallen says turn on the reggae music. If you're gonna pass me, you're gonna do it high.
There is just one more lap remaining, and look how close Modoff is. It got the slipstream.
There we go. 2 laps to settle it in the Blue Emu Firecracker 400. Whatever you got to give it now. Back to green we go.
On the final lap, side by side, they still run wheel to wheel. Now, through the snake, the S as we go. Quaro edges ahead. Modoff is still there.
White flag, one more to go on the Daytona 250. Keplinger leads that lap. Who's going to lead the last one?
To the line, look at that. Dave Chapman, he's going to send it around the outside final corner. Has he got it done?
Continuing to go side by side for the lead through 3 and 4, and they manage it safely. Now through 5.
And hunting for a way by
Side
it
by
all.
side.
Round 2 between Phil Sell and Rigo.
To the outside. White flag is out side by side. They make contact in the turn number 1.
Ooh, gets him onto the grass now, down to the inside. Andy T, a little bit of a wiggle and the perfect crossover there from Polly Portson to defend the position. Andy T totally sideways. They're still sideways going into Siberia.
And getting ready to cross. He goes around the outside, but it's not enough. Eden's up the racetrack. Car broke down the track. A photo finish. James Eden wins it.
It's still 4 abreast into the braking zone. This is sensational. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Charlotte Motor Speedway for the pre-season race here at Charlotte. I am Mike Taylor up here in the booth, and joined with me today is Russ Martin. Glad to have you up here with me today, Russ.
Yeah, man, gonna have a good time here tonight. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're gonna have a really great time up here in the booth. So today, let's go ahead and take a quick look here at our race information. Today's race, it will be 105 laps, and they'll be going for about 157.5 miles around this 1.5 mile track. Your fuel run will be approximately 35 to 40 laps. 4 sets of tires. I believe they have 1 fast repair, and their season starts next week. I'm going to get that pulled up here for you real quick. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. So this here is going to be your first race of the season. Will be over at Kentucky on October 30th. Las Vegas will be your second race. Then Chicagoland will be your third race. And then the 4th race of the season is going to be over at Watkins Glen. So we are excited to get all that started up here for you guys, for the upcoming season. So, Russ, before we get further into this, what's your thoughts about here, Charlotte, and what you're looking forward to most about this track?
Yeah, I mean it's it's Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's one of the epicenters of NASCAR. One of the most popular tracks for these guys to go to. A mile and a half, and especially here tonight, we're running in the dark, kind of Coke 600 vibes. I mean, it's a nice, cool night here tonight. About 70-degree air temp all night long. Got a nice, cool track temp here, so these guys should have a lot of grip. Looking forward to seeing how some of these guys turn out today. I mean, this is like the whole preseason Thunder type of a week this week. We've got some new guys looking to join this league for this season starting next week. They're at Kentucky. Some guys we haven't seen out here on the track before, so it's going to be really fun watching those new guys mix it up with the the legends, the classic drivers of Racers Elite here in this Next Gen Cup Series. And like I said, these guys are going to have a lot of grip out here. We could see some 2, maybe even 3 wide racing here tonight. So going to be fun watching these guys get up on the wheel here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things that we were talking about right before we went live is, how this track, it can act both as a multi-groove racetrack, but, and normally we'll leave it at that, but you stated earlier, it's just a 1-lane track down at the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know if it's something just with iRacing. It just seems like most of these mile-and-a-half cookie cutters. The bottom line around the track is where you're going to see a lot of guys running. It kind of helps to save tire on the right side a little bit, and obviously it's the shorter way around the track. It's usually the faster way around the track, but it really all depends on the track conditions. I mean, like I said, we do have a cooler track temp here tonight, so we might have the opportunity to see guys, like I said, set it to that second lane, maybe even a third lane if they decide to get really racy. But I mean, that's kind of one of the downfalls I think on the iRacing service with these mile-and-a-half cookie cutter tracks is, usually you get that single file bottom lane style of driving for most of the race, just because it's just easier on your tires and the faster way around the track. But I have seen some guys during practice here tonight trying to run that high side. I know I watched the 55 Truth Hope. He was trying to run up there along the wall in that third groove. So we might actually get to see some racing here tonight.
Yeah, definitely going to be in for a really good night here at Charlotte. With all that side-by-side racing that we could possibly see, so we're creating, some really good racing. You spoke about Drew Hope there, and that number 55 machine. He was actually on top of the chart here in practice. So with that being said there, what do you think his thought process is going to be, coming into this NASCAR?
Well, I mean, this is one of those tracks that usually kind of suits Truth fairly well. I mean, we're kind of used to seeing him run really well at these mile-and-a-half tracks like that. I mean, right now, looks like Truth's currently sitting P4 on the leaderboard for qualifying right now. I think his whole thing right now is kind of, last season, I kind of think across all three seasons, he kind of had up and down season through all the three major series that Racers Elite runs. Had a couple of run-ins with some other drivers, kept having some unfortunate luck and stuff, and I think he's trying to look ahead into this next season and try to get back to where he was the season before, where he was out winning multiple races. He was fighting for wins, championships. Like I said, last season, I think across the trucks, the Xfinity, and the Cup Series, I think Truth really kind of struggled. So I'm really looking for Truth to try to make a bounce back again this year. Truth's one of those names that if anybody's been watching Racers Elite for however long that they've been watching over the course of all these seasons, Truth Hope's like one of those household names here at Racers Elite, right along with Andrew Teft, Kinsley Smith, and some of those other guys. So I really think Truth's kind of looking for a bounce back season this season and try to get himself back into a competitive state to try to go after a championship again.
Oh, definitely. I've been watching Andrew Teft. I've actually been watching Truth Hope since I started being up here in the booth here at Racers Elite Network, which is powered by iRacing, by the way. He's been very, very strong, and he's just struggled. Sometimes he'll get caught up in other people's messes, and it's just stuff that's just out of his control. And at times that could be, a really big time heartbreak for somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, I talked to Truth quite a bit. I know he was, really kind of frustrated a little bit at the end of the season last season. So I know that he's coming out looking for a little bit of retribution and a bounce back. I mean, we know Truth's got speed. Just looking to overcome those obstacles that he got caught up in there last season. So gonna be good to see Truth back out there and trying to fight for championships.
I couldn't agree more. And talking about championships and stuff, let's talk about that number 98 of Andrew Teft for just a moment in that Ford Mustang. It seems like no matter what he gets into here in the Racers Elite Network, he's wicked fast.
Yeah, for sure. He was, basically the undisputed champion of Racers Elite the season prior to our last season, and almost able to go back to back with that. Um, this past season. So I mean, definitely one of the contenders out there, especially again at these mile and a halves. It's just one of those things that Andrew is really good with tire management and fuel management, and he's able to put his car into positions later on in a run that some other guys may not be able to because they've burned their stuff up. So he's definitely going to be another another one to watch all throughout this season, trying to again get retribution for not being able to double down as the to be able to defend his title in this Cup Series last season. Obviously, that went to the '94, who had a great season this past season. Chris was just a great season last season. So I know Andrew's looking forward to trying to get back out there and get a little bit of retribution for not being able to go back to back in the Cup Series.
Yeah, let's see how that season will unfold. But before we can get to the new season, we got to get through Charlotte here. And it looks like at this time, we got our race drivers lining up down on pit road. So let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineup for today's event. Judson Curtis in that number 31 machine, he's going to be on that pole position with Andrew Tefton, his number 98 machine on his outside. Timothy Eisburn in that number 92 had a very strong qualifying here tonight, starting in that third spot on the inside of row number 2. Truth Hope will be joining him on the outside. Kensley Smith, always fast as hell, he'll be on his outside. Row number 4, you got Ira how do you say that? Kohlhaas.
Yeah.
In that number 29 machine, Kirby Wainscott to his outside. Row number 5, Robert Richardson. He'll be in that number 49 machine, followed by Brendan Wilcox.
Then you got David Davis going to start there P11 in that 777 with William Skinner starting to his outside in the number 3. Barry Nelson in 28 is going to roll off in P13 with Brett Bray in the 17 to his outside. Brandon Biddy in the 30 is going to roll off in P15 with Robert Wyatt rolling off in P16 in that number 68. Terry Fennell going to roll off in 17th in that number 50. Troy Thomas, and man, this is going to be difficult to keep tabs of all season long, but Troy Thomas normally in the number 3, going back to his old roots of the 88 this season, going to roll off in P18. Mike Fudge in number 2 going to roll off in 19th. Dennis Kane in the 4 going to roll off in 20th, and Trevor Fettig in that 711 going to round out the field of 21 drivers here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
We have a pretty decent stacked field here for you guys here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, as our pace car is going to bring the field here down onto the back straightaway, and we will go green flag once they get back to the front stretch here. So a lot of guys we got to keep an eye on. Who's your pick to win today?
Tonight here at Charlotte, I mean, I think it's going to be kind of hard to bet against guys like Andrew Teft or Truth Hope, but one guy always you can never count on at these mile and a halves is that number 15 of Kensley Smith, and some reason I feel like he's going to have a chip on his shoulder again after last season, looking to get back and get some more races in with these guys this season. Had a couple things come up last season, not able to pull the whole thing out. I think he wants to get this season off to a strong start, so I'm going to go with the number 15 of Kensley Smith here tonight, pick up the win.
Kensley Smith is definitely a really good choice here to win here tonight, as we are going to go green flag racing right here on Racers Elite Network. It looks like Judson Curtis in that number 31 machine, he will get out in front of that number 98 of Andrew Teft. But they're still going to try to run side by side here in the early running of this race before they start to get themselves settled out, as they continue to run side by side mostly throughout the whole entire field.
Yeah, Andrew Teft holding strong there on the outside, trying to make something work here on that 31, coming out of turn 4 down the front straightaway, going to try to lead this first lap. Looks like he's going to get the 31 cleared and lead lap 1.
Yeah, That was a very good lap one there for Andrew Tech, taking over that top spot. You know, he's one that I feel like he can put his car anywhere he wants on, you know, that on that racetrack, and he can run anywhere.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, you know, when I was making my pick with Kensley there, it's hard to bet against Andrew or Truth here at these 1.5 miles, and Andrew showing already a lot of speed there on that second groove, making that pass there for the lead, and we see Truth Hope worked his way up there to P2 already too.
It's definitely very interesting, you know, for these guys out here. And as you said, you know, there's Truth Hope in that number 55 machine. He's made his way to second spot in that AC Delco machine. Now your field is now getting pretty much single foul line here within the top 10. No one's really trying to make any moves except that number 15, Kensley Smith. He's now looking onto the inside there of Truth Hope. He's going to attempt to make the pass, and he will get it on the exit here in turn 4.
Yeah, it looked like Truth kind of knew that Kensley was a little bit quicker than him right there. Kind of moved up to that high side. Now let Kensley go by, but now it's going to put him under attack of that 31 of Judson Curtis for P3. But looks like Truth's holding strong right now.
Yeah, I don't know if it's on my end there, but I feel like you are a little bit quiet in my ears.
I'm a little bit quiet in your ears, huh?
Yeah. I mean, unless the chat can hear you, then, you know, at the end of the day, that's all that really matters.
I can see if I can turn my mic up a little bit more. I'm not sure.
All right, don't worry. You were a lot better right there for just a second. So if you moved it closer, I don't know what you did, but that worked.
It's a handful.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get back down to this racing action here. As you see these drivers coming out of turn number 2 now, as we take a look here at Ira Kohlhaas. You know, he's doing a pretty good job, you know, riding out there in that 5th spot, moved up 2 spots since we went green flag racing just, 7 laps ago now.
Yeah, Ira's kind of one of those other ones. He's really good at these 1.5 mile tracks, and you know it might take him a little bit of time to find his groove. And right now it looks like he's kind of running middle to up. So you know, once he finds the groove, he's going to be one I'm going to keep my eye on just a little bit to see if he's going to start making some headway. Because I think Ira is another one who kind of has a chip on his shoulders, and he's looking to really improve on last season.
Definitely, for sure, on Ira. You know, the couple races I have seen, you know, I'm still new to, you know, the world of Racers Elite, so I'm still learning all the drivers. You know, Ira, you know, I mean, they have seen him in like 1 or 2 other races, and you know, he's been, you know, very competitive, and he's been very consistent in lap times. So, you know, definitely seeing him up there in the top 5. And as you said, you know, it sounds like he has a lot of redemption to take on this upcoming season.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Ira took a little bit of time away from iRacing for a while. He had, you know, he was working a lot and wasn't able to really race as much as what he wanted to. So he had to kind of take a step back from the service and deal with that. But he was able to come back here last season. I think he missed like the first, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks of the season last season. So good to see Ira back out, trying to now get a full season up under his belt and see how he's going to be able to compete for a championship as the season progresses.
Oh, definitely. That's for sure. You know, as we have Kensley Smith up in that number 15, he's now trying to put the attack here on Truth Hope for that 2nd spot. He will get a decent run here out of turn 4.
Yeah, it looks like Truth able to get a run back on Kensley there to the outside, try to take this P2 back, but Kensley's not going to give it back to him. too awful easy, but this is also going to allow Andrew to maybe check out just a little bit with these guys going side by side.
Yeah. I mean, Seth will check out, but that'll also bring Judson Curtis, your pole sitter for the race, right back to that back bumper of those two drivers. So there's a benefit to having, you know, the cars in front and behind you running side by side, as you see that 31 now making his name known that he wants to retake that second spot.
Yeah, he just try to catch that draft to the 15, try to tag onto his bumper and get around this 55 here and take over P3. But pretty impressive run so far here tonight for Judson Curtis. I mean, I believe this is a new guy. I haven't seen him here in Races Elite before, so looks like one of the newcomers trying to get a feel for being out here with some of these older drivers of the series. And so far, Judson looks like he's got some good speed out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about, newcomers to the league, this is still the preseason. Next week we will have our opening race. So if you guys are interested, just head over to our website, racerselite.com. Join up in our Discord, and we'll get you guys all set up to run with us. This is a really good group of guys, and back on Tuesday in the trucks, we actually had a first-time winner here in Racers Elite, and so that was actually pretty cool to witness there over in the trucks on Tuesday. So all 3 seasons, you guys, new season starting next week. So definitely come on out, racerselite.com. Come join the fun, you guys. This is a really good group of guys. And, before I say anything else, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. We're getting so close to that 1,000 follow mark, so definitely hit that subscribe button. Let's go ahead and jump back here a little bit, because as things start to get settled out, I like to call people out. I'm going to call out that number 92, Timothy Eisburn, and that really funky looking number 92 on one side. I'm not exactly sure if that is the way that car is supposed to be.
Yeah, I've watched him with that paint scheme before, and it's always kind of threw me for a loop too. That number on that side, like half cut off by the bottom of the body down there, and yeah, it throws you off. It makes you look like he's got some kind of damage on there, but he doesn't. It just kind of throws you off a little bit.
Yeah, that is true. Looks like they put the duct tape in the wrong spot to hold up that side fender. So just I'm going to continue to bunch around to a bunch of different people here as we keep going. One guy's name I love saying is Brandon Biddy. Brandon Biddy, he's pretty fast in that number 30 machine. Absolutely love that Sharpie paint job there on his machine.
Yeah, that's a kind of a unique paint scheme. I think I've seen that in officials, but I think this is the first time I've seen it being run in the league. I kind of like that. It's a little bit of a unique paint scheme out there.
Yeah. As you see, he's getting ready to get passed by Robert Richardson in that number 49 machine, as he's trying to make that run on the inside here in the tri-oval.
Yeah, looking pretty strong there in that 49 bang machine. The one I like is that one right there back behind them, and that number 3, the old Atlanta Olympics of '96 Dale Earnhardt throwback. I really like that paint scheme. That thing looks nice.
Yeah, it is an absolute beautiful paint scheme for sure. One driver that I always keep an eye on, that always has a nice looking paint scheme is actually, I don't even see him here tonight, actually. Yeah, it's actually not here. Well, he drives the number 8 in the Xfinity and Truck Series.
Oh, Curtis Ecker. Yeah,
Curtis,
Kurt's
yes.
usually always got. Yeah, Kurt's usually got some pretty good paint schemes too. I mean, anybody out there who knows me knows, I have my little black and fluorescent green paint schemes that I run, just like Dennis came out there. So anytime I see paint schemes with that black and green, like Dennis and like Kurt, I always kind of got to waver towards them a little bit.
Yeah, there's just absolutely something about green and black on a race car.
Yeah, it's always been my favorite color combo, and that's what I've always ran myself here on the service. And I always got to appreciate when I see fellow black and lime greeners out there.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. So Dennis came in that number 4 machine out of Detroit, Michigan. Let's go a little bit here further in the. Wait a second, they might be trying to go 3 wide here. All right, they thought better of it. Let's go back here just a little bit here to Terry Fennell in that number 50 machine. He's always got a little brightness to his paint schemes. They always pop many different colors. So that's one thing
Yeah, he's got
I always like about Mr. Fennell.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got kind of a black and yellow with rainbow on there, like that. The red, teal, pink. Kind of a sharp looking ride there for Mr. Fennell.
Definitely a good looking paint scheme there. We're going to back up here towards our race leaders, right around where Truth Hoke is back here in that number 55 machine, as he's trying to defend that sixth spot, but it looks like Wilcox and Cornell just might have him here on the exit of turn 2.
Yeah, I kind of been watching Truth just a little bit there. It looks like he's kind of falling back. I mean, he's running back there in P7 right now, under fire from the 777 and the 92, or no, the 49. I'm sorry, and I'm not sure if it was him just getting caught up on the outside or what, but yeah, that 55 Truth Hope falling back just a little bit here.
Don't let that fool you. Where were we last night? Auto Club. He fell back a little bit, but he started coming back real fast near the end of that race.
Yeah, I mean, Truth's another one of them guys that he'll go hard there at the beginning and then try to save a little bit of tire and then try to make a rebound towards the end of a run. I mean, we're closing in on what I'm assuming is going to be about 7 to 12 laps before we make our first round of green flag pit stops here. So could be doing a little something. I just feel like it's a little bit late in the race to try to be saving tire, unless he's going to be on a totally different strategy from what we're expecting. But we have a caution coming out here now. Looks like the 92 and the 4 going to get together coming down the front straightaway.
Timothy Eisburn and Dennis Kane both facing the wrong direction here on the front straightaway. As you see Eisburn go ahead and start pulling himself away from the scene as well. Definitely very unfortunate there for that number 92 machine and Dennis Kane. But let's go ahead and go back, take a look, and see what happened.
I say I was just talking about the green flag pit stops, and now that's all gone out the window because we got this caution. These guys are going to be able to come in and get some tires and fuel here.
Yeah, absolutely. As you see them come out of Eisburn just hit that outside wall and then came back down and got into the right. Oh, big contact there as well. Who was that? Was that? No, that wasn't Brett. Oh man, I want to go back and see who that is that had that hard impact back there. Let's come back here. We'll slow it down a little bit here on the exit so we can get a good look here and see who who got clobbered there, as you see that 4 car just get airborne after making contact with that outside wall.
Yeah, that's just one of those things we see happen here quite a bit in some of these mile and a halves. You just get up there and slap that wall, and then you just kind of ricochet back. Looks like that was the 88 of Troy Thomas that got caught up in that as well.
Yep, that was definitely the 88. Let's
pulling a little Dukes of Hazzard through the front stretch here.
Yeah, absolutely, nothing wrong with that. Let's go ahead and ride on board with that number 88 as he came out of turn 4. He could have just a little.
Nah, no lift challenge, bro.
Let's go ahead and come back live here as you see all of our lead lappers come down to take fuel and tires here. Very good race all around so far for this being early on. We are working lap 30 now. And Andrew Teft, he's out front, followed by that beautiful number 15 Monster Energy machine of Kensley Smith. So what's your thoughts so far, the first 30 laps here of all the action that we have seen so far?
Yeah, I mean it's typical Charlotte, I think, for Races Elite. I mean, the usual suspects we're seeing, up there up front, with Andrew Teft and Kensley Smith. I mean, really good to see that. To see Judson Curtis, the newcomer to the series, up there showing some speed and grit this early on in the race. We got Kirby Wainscott running up front there, having a good run. I mean, it's just I think it's really just kind of typical Charlotte here for Races Elite. Going good so far. We'll see how it plays out in the second half here.
Yeah, Judson Curtis, he did start up on that pole, so. He's keeping it up front. That's what we like to see. That 777 of David Davis, he's up there. He's made up 6 spots since we've gone green. And right now, he is our biggest mover, along with that 711 machine of Trevor Fettig over back in that 15th spot. So, a lot of drivers here, still have a lot of moves to make to see where they can come up, and I think it's going to be very interesting from this point on.
Yeah, I mean, we're only on lap 32. We got 105 here, so we still got just over 70 laps here in this race. So still plenty of time to figure something out, try to see if you can make something work. I mean, we may come down to the end of this thing. I mean, we know from talking to some of these drivers beforehand, fuel runs lasting anywhere from 35 to 40 laps. So, we could anticipate if we go green, we could anticipate next pit stop maybe around lap 65 to 70. So maybe we'll see a little bit of different strategies on that pit stop out of some of these guys. Try to kind of leapfrog some guys later in the race as we're back under green here.
Back under green here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Teft gets out to a quick early lead and got a phenomenal restart there. And Kensley Smith, he will take over that second spot as they come out of turn 2. And they'll continue to run side by side behind them. As you see Curtis, he's trying to make some noise, he's trying to defend from that number 10 to Kirby Wainscott. And we're just going to see which lane is going to be able to prevail here at Charlotte. And as you stated, when we talked earlier, that inside lane is probably the more prevalent lane here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's usually, bottom feeder here, but, we have seen moves be made on the high side, but right now we got a battle for the lead. Kensley Smith just took the lead over from Andrew Teft there in that 98 coming out of turn 4 here.
That was a very beautiful move there out of Kensley Smith in that number 15 machine.
I'm hoping Kensley's not watching the broadcast while he's racing, because we've been known to kind of put that commentator's curse on him anytime that somebody in the broadcast booth picks him to win a race. You know, he goes out and he does well and then has a pretty tough end. So hopefully he's not watching this to know that I picked him to win here tonight so that he can go out and get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, but he's always a competitor. He comes out here to win, you know, exhibition race or not. So, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I mean, if Kensley can come out this season for all these races, which he mentioned last season, you know, he had some things going on, wasn't able to make all the races. But I said last season that if Kensley can show up and make the races, he's going to be a legitimate threat to win the championship. I feel like this year. I mean, it just seems like no matter where we are, we're always talking about that 15 car being up front, fighting for wins. And I mean, if he can show up, you know, to all these races, I think he is going to be the one to keep an eye on this season, and he's going to be the threat to win the championship here in the next gen series here for Races Elite.
Somebody who's coming out here to try to make his name known is that Judson Curtis driver. He's attacking on the outside now of second place of Andrew Teff. He's looking to get back up to that front spot as well, as he will go ahead and complete the pass on the back straightaway.
Yeah, Judson's shown quite a bit of speed here early on in this race so far for his first run here with Races Elite. I believe it's his first run. I haven't called a race with him in it, so I believe he is a newcomer to the series, but out there in that number 31, definitely showing some speed here early on in this race, and maybe going to put some of these guys on notice for the entire season.
Oh, definitely. You know, coming out first race, I'm actually going to do a quick look at see if that is the case. I think I'll for that Judson driver. Alright, so Judson Curtis, he does have 2 starts here with Racers Elite.
Okay, so not new, but making a return apparently.
Hey, you know what?
I don't recall calling a race for him, so maybe it was prior to me coming up into the broadcast booth, or maybe it was for a series that I wasn't calling. But hey, if he's got 2 starts, then welcome back to the series, Judson.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just had a driver have a really big off, and that's going to be Ira Kohlhaas in that number 29 machine. We're going to go back here and take a look and see what happened. It looks like it's going to be on the exit here of turn 4, maybe. Oh, that was weird.
Yeah, that was a really weird place to. I don't know. I mean, he gathered it back up rather quickly. So I mean, if that was like, I mean, that almost looked like a wheel disconnect.
Yeah, that's a very good possibility.
I mean, it looked like it was a wheel disconnect, but I mean, it was a really quick wheel disconnect and recover, because I mean, it really didn't take him long to get back on track and back into a groove. So just yeah, kind of weird spot to have that happen.
Yeah, I mean, I guess also at the same time, you know, I'm glad it happened there and not in the middle of the turn, because at that point, you're just going for a long ride.
Yeah, you're gonna go up, you're gonna smack that outside wall and possibly take some other drivers with you if you're around anybody else.
Yep, so he's back there now in that 20th spot. He's going to try to make his way around that number 68 of Robert Wyant. And he's going to start making his way back up through the field. We will jump back up here to that number 49 of Robert Richardson and Truth Hope. These two drivers currently trying to battle it out for that 6th spot.
Yeah, I was just kind of watching this this battle here for a little bit, and it almost seems like maybe the outside lane is starting to come in just a little bit. If guys wanted to start taking it, because I mean the 48 there was able to get by Truth. Now we're 3 wide just behind them, coming out of 4 through the tri-oval.
And who's going to back
the 28
out?
wisely going to back out. But the 48 there able to make that pass on Truth on the outside. And I've been watching this 3, and he's been working the outside, and now he's starting to work his way up and making passes on that outside. So I wonder if maybe this outside line, now that this race has kind of gone on and we've gone a little bit further into the night, if maybe this outside line is going to start coming in just a little bit and showing itself as being a quicker line.
Yeah, that outside lane definitely, you know, starting to get some groove up there. As you know, as we're back looking at, who was it? Davison. No, it was Robert Richardson and Truth Hope. You know, they were actually running the high and the middle lanes, and so they weren't down on that bottom like we normally would see. So they might have.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I was going to say, just kind of slowly starting to work their way up the track just a little bit as this race progresses. I mean, we're approaching the halfway mark of this race, so you know we're on lap 50 right now. About lap 52 and a half is going to be halfway here. So maybe as this race is progressing, that line is starting to work up the track, because we are seeing more and more guys running about a lane, you know, 3/4 of a lane to a lane or more up off of the bottom here.
Battle here for 9th spot. Truth Hope, he's looking, he took over that spot. And William Skinner, he fell back here. And here comes Matthew Cornell. He's starting to make some moves up here in that number 22 machine.
Yeah, 22 there, getting up there on that, you know, that middle to upper lane, able to make some kind of moves. Trying to get by the 28 here. Not quite able to clear him yet going into turn 1, but going to look to try to clear him coming out of turn 2.
He goes down, tries to get on the inside. I mean, if you can't get by him down top, might as well try down low.
Yeah, absolutely. Try a little crossover. Try a different line. Put that driver in the 28 in a little bit more of an uncomfortable position than maybe what he's used to. So.
Oh, 28 got into the wall there on entry to turn 1. So that's going to slow his momentum just a little bit heading down into that corner. And that's going to allow that number 22 of Matthew Cornell to get right beside him.
And you can see the 22 kind of still just kind of running the center of that corner, not really down on the bottoms, kind of working, you know, about that second line up from the bottom. Able to maintain or carry just a little bit more speed off of the exit corners than being down there on the bottom. So this track definitely is moving up, I feel.
Definitely starting to move up here as we're now looking here with a Barry Nelson. He's trying to make some noise here in that number 28 Javelin machine. I heard Barry Nelson, he's moved from a different number from last season over to this Texaco Javelin sponsored machine. So he's looking to make a whole new difference here in the upcoming season, driving that number 28 machine.
Yeah, I know Barry Barry kind of seemed to have quite a bit of unlucky fortunes there last season. I'm not really sure, if he had many, if he had a team last season or not. But from what I see here tonight, it looks like maybe he's aligned himself with a couple of veteran drivers in the series. So maybe if he is new to that team, maybe having those veteran drivers on there be able to give him just a little bit of help to try to maybe help him improve his runs here this season. So definitely going to keep an eye out on that 28 car this year, because I always like to try to see who kind of been like the most improved from the season prior. So new car, possibly a new team, not 100% sure on that, but 28 definitely be one of the guys that I'll be keeping my eye on throughout this season as far as potentially one of the more improved drivers.
Robert Wyatt in that number 68 machine, he's made his way down pit road, so I think we're starting to come across that thresh mark, for the next round of pit stop.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, in my opinion, I feel like it might be just a little bit, still a little bit early. I'm anticipating, maybe about another 7 to 10 laps, or more before guys would start maybe coming down for their final pit stops, unless he's able to save more fuel than everybody else. I mean, I feel like we're at about 47 laps to go, and fuel run looking anywhere from 35 to 40 laps. So I still feel like it's a little early. Maybe it's just a little bit of a strategy call or something.
That's definitely a very good possibility. I just want to make note that we do have a new leader on top of the leaderboard of Judson Curtis in the number 31 machine. He was finally able to get himself around Andrew Teff. And so it's been somewhat of a little bit of a battle up there amongst the top three, but they've gotten themselves a little bit spread out there. As we're going to continue to watch this battle back here, and I know it's up here for only like 10th or 11th, but you know what? It's some really good racing happening right here.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are side by side. They're switching lanes. They're sometimes going 3 wide. Definitely a good battle here for about P10.
I like watching the drivers that are further back in the pack, because even if they know, as you saw, both drivers were sitting that outside wall that time, that they know if they're not going to race for the win, they're still going to put on a good show.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and not only that, but this is a preseason race. There's nothing on the line. There's no points. There's nothing on the line. So, right now is a really good time for some of these drivers who are new to the league. Like William Skinner or Matthew Cornell. It's good for these guys to get out here and really mix it up with the Racers Elite regulars and get a really good feel of how these guys run, how they're going to run you, where the limits are. So, I mean, a race like this is a really good chance to learn moving forward. Is now the 92 and the 28 going to kind of door slam just a little bit there. 28 able to hold on to it, but it's just one of those instances where this is a really good learning experience for the newer guys, the guys looking to break through into the Racers Elite Series.
Yeah, definitely, and this also gives the other drivers, that's been here a while, get used to, running with the new guys, figuring out how they're playing races. And
Yeah, absolutely.
I was talking to Theft about that last night, in Victory Lane. It's a good way to get people to know each other and everything like that. But for me, I don't learn how everybody drives. I just race.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, it's kind of like me. I mean, I'm making my return to Racers Elite on Tuesday nights running the Truck Series. So I mean, it's going to be a relearn to the guys who I've raced with side by side here in Racers Elite. But there's a bunch of new guys too that I haven't raced with. But at the same time, I just have to go out and I have to run my own race, and whatever kind of happens. I mean, you're not going to learn how other drivers are going to race until you're actually out there on the track with them. So, it's just one of those things that, you got to make those adjustments as a race progresses to the new drivers, to the old drivers, and just get a feel for everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Kensley Smith in that number 15 machine, he has made his way down on pit road. Trevor Fettig, he's making his way down to that number 711 machine. So we got 40 laps to go, and we're right around that mark where they're going to start coming. Excuse me, as they start
Yeah, for sure.
in.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like, I really feel like the fuel run was closer to the high side of that pit window, or that fuel window of about 40 laps. And if you're able to save a little bit staying in the draft or something like that, you might even get 41, 42. So, I mean, I definitely feel like guys are definitely within that window of making that final pit stop of the race here now.
Definitely. As we have another pass for the race lead, Andrew Teff retook it from Curtis here, back on the exit turn 4 last lap. And these two have checked out to just about a 3-second lead over Brendan Wilcox in that number 26 machine. That's somebody we haven't really talked about much here today. Brendan Wilcox in that number 26. He's been slowly but surely making his way up here towards the front of this field.
Yeah, showing some pretty good speed here later in the race there in that number 26 car. Definitely good to see another, newer name, at least to me, up here closer to the front. But like you said, Andrew Teff, Judson Curtis, kind of just checking out from the rest of these guys right now. Looks like, about a 3-second lead or so right now over third for these two leaders. So definitely check it out a little bit for Andrew and Judson.
Yep, fourth place of Kirby Wainscott in that number 10 machine. He's made his way down on pit road. Take a look here. We jump back here to Brandon Biddick with Truth Hook as they run now side by side down the back straightaway here for that 6th spot.
Yeah, Truth still running back there at about P6 there. Fell off just a little bit the later stages of that first run, but now it looks like maybe he's trying to maybe work his way back up towards the front. I think he fell back to about 8th or 9th there towards the end of that first run, and now back up to P6. So he's up there on that high side trying to make that thing work for him, and right now looking to make that pass on Brandon Biddy in that Sharpie number 30.
Yeah, as I said earlier, Hope he does something weird. He falls back and makes his way out, usually back into the top 5 by the end of the race. So it's definitely very nice to see Hope, staying to that word that I said, and now I'm not making a fool of myself.
Yeah, Truth. Truth's one of them drivers, like I said. In this race, it's again, there's nothing to lose, nothing to gain. It's a for fun preseason, preseason Thunder style race. So, Truth out there right now running, giving up that spot now to the 30. If this was next week and it was this late to run, I'm not sure Truth would give up that spot quite that easily. But out here getting those laps in, showing good speed again. Like I said, I think Truth is going to be one who's going to make a bounce back this season.
Definitely. Somebody I want to touch up on is Timothy Eisburn in that number 92. We saw him on spun around on the front stretch, back right around lap 30. He's up. He's made his way back into the top 10 before these green flag pit stops started. So he's had a pretty good turnaround here. So, now he's back up in that top 5. But let's see how much further he can move up as this race goes on.
Yeah, I mean, showing pretty good rebound right now. As this thing's going on. I mean, where are we sitting right now? Look here, it wasn't really. It's up to P5, so mean, I think he still has to come back down pit road, but with that to take that final pit stop. I mean, right now he's up to P2, so everybody else except for Andrew Teft as the current leader has been down pit road. Judson's been on pit road. Biddy's been on pit road. So looks like the 92 still got to come back down pit road, but yeah, making some kind of a little bit of a bounce back there.
Yeah. Eisburn, he did lead a lap there as he's now making his way down here to pit road. So having, spun out, faced the opposite direction to lead a lap, I think that's a pretty good recovery right there. Just jumping back here to Kirby Wainscott in that number 10 Racers Elite Toyota. He's had a pretty consistent day. He hasn't really fallen, back past where he started back in that 8th spot. He's currently up there in that 4th position, right behind Andrew Teff. So, he's doing pretty good up in that number 10 machine. As we take a look, Kensley Smith, he is now your race leader as this pit cycle has went ahead and just about finished here. Everybody else came down pit road.
Yeah, we got about 30 laps to go here in this race, and this pit cycle is going to cycle itself out. Kensley Smith going to find himself probably right around 2.7, 2.8 seconds or so advantage over Andrew Teff. So that 15 had a really good pit stop right there.
Yeah, definitely an absolute beautiful pit stop there. He did come down 10 laps earlier than everybody else. So Andrew Teff in that number 98 machine, who is roughly about 2.3 seconds back, he will have a little bit of fresher tires, but ultimately the question is, how much tires did Kensley Smith save for this next run towards the finish here?
Yeah, I mean, I think the bigger thing too is how many laps is Andrew going to be able to run before his tires kind of equalize. I mean, that's one thing I've noticed with these cars is that some tracks, having the fresher tires is obviously good, but it just seems like at certain tracks, after like 7 or 10 laps, those tires kind of equalize, and they don't become quite so much of an advantage as what you would expect them to be. So, I mean, it just depends, again, on what track you're at. But, I mean, I've seen last season that there were, guys who were on, like, 7-lap fresher tires, and, you almost guarantee that he's going to run this leader down and he's going to blow by the leader and that this guy's going to win the race. And then about 12 laps later, you see those lap times kind of start to equalize between the leader and the guy you feel like he was just going to run down the leader. It's just kind of strange. Again, it could be just the tire model for iRacing, but I've seen that happen before, and I'm sure it'll happen again. But whether it'll happen here at Charlotte or not, I'm not quite sure. It looks like this leads down to about a second, maybe 1.2 seconds now. Andrew is back there behind that 15 car, so he is starting to run the Kinsley down.
Yeah, definitely turning up the heat. There's almost just about a half a second difference between first and second there. So Seth there, he's slowly but surely reeling in that Kensley Smith, and not too far behind Seth is Judson in that number 31 machine.
Yeah, Judson again, still right up there, in third. I mean, he's shown that speed all night long. It's pretty impressive, return here to Racers Elite. Like we said, he got 2 starts in the Elite before, so pretty solid. Come back here to Racers Elite. Not sure if he's intending to run the whole season here this year, or if he's just, showing up here tonight. I'm not really sure, but I mean, if he has this kind of speed on a regular basis, I feel like he could definitely be one of those contenders for a championship, if not at least a podium in the championship.
Oh, absolutely. He can definitely be right up there near the edge. Championship. lot of strong competition out here as well. You know, Andrew Teff, you know, Kensley Smith in that number 15, Kirby Wainscott, Brendan Wilcox in that number 26. He's been strong. You know, then you also can't count out Truth Hook. So, you know, coming in, you know, Curtis has a lot of work cut out for him. I guess some of the best drivers here in Racers Elite.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, there's even, you know, there's some guys that, you know, they're not even here tonight. I mean, you know, you take a look at, you know, last season's champion, Christopher Pendel. I mean, he's not out there tonight, and you know, he was the winningest driver in the Cup Series there last year. He had, you know, 3 regular season wins, 2 regular, and one win in the 4-race playoff, and you know, able to earn himself that championship. He picked up a lot of speed last year. I mean, he was one of those drivers that I talked about of being one of the more improved from the season before, and you know, he went out and won the championship. So, I mean, definitely looking forward to seeing Chris back out on the track again, starting next week when we kick this season, this new season underway, and getting him back out there. Alex Heft, I mean, Andrew's brother, you know, is another one. I mean, we've seen him win races in this next gen car, kind of out of nowhere, but you know, he's usually got some pretty consistent speed. I mean, so, you know, Curtis Ecker, another one, not out here tonight, definitely got the speed. I mean, so there's still guys that aren't here tonight that will have a lot of speed, and I feel like we're going to have a really competitive season here in this Next Gen Cup Series for Racers Elite this season, for season 9.
I mean, I know I shouldn't say this, but absolutely. You know, there's a lot of strong drivers, you know, here in Racers Elite. You know, and looking back to all the coverage that I've been able to do so far leading up to this point, you know, a lot of strong names, you know, and I've also watched, you know, some of the weaker drivers, you know, start getting better because of running around these guys. So competitions, it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. And I think most likely, if not all 3 series of this upcoming season, I think they're all going to come down to the last race. If not at least 2 of the 3, because we already know that you're going to win the trucks.
Yeah, I'm not winning the trucks. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, I'll be out there. I'll be out there with them. That's for sure. But I mean, there's that truck series is probably one of the more, you know, competitive of the series that Racers Elite has. But I agree with 100% with what you just said too. I mean, the more races that you run with the guys in this series, you know, you can feel yourself improving. I mean, that's how I was when I ran with them 2 seasons ago. I mean, unfortunately, I had to prematurely exit the season, that season right before the playoffs, because I was having some PC problems. Didn't want to continue to have those problems on track and ruin other drivers' races, but got those fixed. Glad to be coming back out and running with the guys on Tuesday night again. But I even noticed that, you know, in that last season that I ran with them, because, you know, I was kind of, you know, back of the pack, mid-pack maybe, but and then as that season progressed, I really learned how I can and can't race certain drivers. You know, some guys you can run with side by side for 5, 10, 12 laps, you know, and some other guys you got to make quick work of. So I mean, I definitely felt myself improving as the season progressed, and I'm looking forward to getting back out with those guys again on Tuesday nights and hopefully improving even more, because, you know, I've been out of the game for the last 6-8 months, just recently kind of getting back into it now that I got this PC fixed. So these guys are probably going to put a spanking on me for quite a while this season as I'm getting reacclimated to everything.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, you've got a definitely long season ahead of you, and, you know, first and foremost, welcome back. You know, we're excited to see you back running full-time in the Tuesday Night Series race right here on Racers Elite Network. As we see Curtis get into the back bumper of second place here of Kensley Smith, as you guys probably saw there in your standings, Tiff, he ended up making that pass on your race leader at the time, as As here comes Curtis now trying to attack the number 15 of Smith.
Yeah, Justin, again, some of that speed. I mean, he's got quite a few lap fresher tires than what Kensley's got, so definitely got that speed. Now you're going to take a look to the inside here going into turn 3. Kensley's going to run that middle of the lane, but I don't think it's going to be quite enough to be able to hold off the 31 here. He's going to stick with him coming down the front stretch, but ultimately I think this 31 is going to make work of the 15 going into turn 1 here.
Definitely, there's right there, that's about 11 a lap difference between your tires on the 15 and that number 31 of Curtis. So, Smith, he's got a lot of, tire saving to do as we're coming down to 10 laps to go this time by for this field. And, right now he's in damage control, but he's got just about 3 seconds back to that number 10 of Kirby Wayne's spot. So he should be all right, comfortably racing right here in that 3rd spot for the remainder of this race.
Yeah, I feel like as long as he can keep himself kind of in the draft there, that 31, I think he'll be all right. And Kirby, it looks like about 2.5 to 3 seconds, or almost, about 3.3 seconds back there to Kirby. In 4th, so I feel like as long as he can stay in that draft, I'd really like to talk to Kensley here tonight. If he heard me pick him to win, is this the only reason why he's running 3rd right now? So,
hey, if he finishes in top 3, which he very well might here tonight, you can ask him that very good question. As you see that 88 machine getting right up against that outside wall, and Kohlhaas will go ahead and get around for that 10th spot.
Yeah, Ira making a pretty good bounce back after that little bit of a issue that he had earlier on in the race. Able to kind of rebound a little bit and get himself up there inside the top 10.
Yeah, definitely good rebound there for Ira in that number 29 machine. Let's see who else we can go pick on. Robert Richardson in that number 49 in that Bang machine. He's definitely come back swinging and, coming out turn number 4 here. He's moved up 3 spots since the start of this race. So, he's doing a pretty decent job here, staying pretty consistent in lap times as well. So, good to see Robert Richardson having a strong run here tonight at Charlotte.
Yeah, never a bad night at the racetrack if you can finish ahead of where you started. So whether it's by 1 spot or whether it's by 15 spots, 49 3 spots right now, definitely call that a successful night.
Oh, absolutely. It's always a successful night when you first and foremost finish a race. I don't know if for you if you ever feel accomplished in being able to finish a race. But
100%. Especially at certain tracks that you usually struggle at. You can count finishing the race a win just as much as actually getting a win. So.
Oh, no doubt. But for me, especially having a good, strong field like you have here with Racers Elite, just finishing a race on the lead lap with these guys, I bet you it would be such a good, feeling for myself personally. Because, I'm not the greatest driver out there, but you know what? If I'm able to finish on the lead lap to these guys, then I know I'm doing something right.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a tough field out there. I mean, it's like I said, I've struggled with these guys, and I've had really good luck with these guys. It's just one of those things. You got to be there at the end to be able to finish a race. So, just definitely, like I said, against competition like this, finishing the race is win number 2. Win number 1. If you're able to finish ahead of where you started, that's win number 2. I'll never know what win number 3 is because I'm not good enough to actually pick up a win. So.
I mean, yeah, that's very true. As we're looking now back here at Andrew Teft in that number 98 machine, this man knows what it's like to get win number 500, 4,700, whatever his win number is at this moment, as he will have 2 to go this time by, as we have one car up in the wall just a little bit there.
Yeah, Andrew, no stranger to victory lane, especially at these 1.5-mile tracks. I mean, like I said, he does really good with tire conservation, fuel conservation. Just putting together another really solid night here at Charlotte, and showing that he's out for a little bit of revenge on this Cup Series from not being able to go back-to-back with his championships there with last season. So I'm going to come back with a vengeance. I'm going to take this white flag, and I'm going to bring home my first win of the season during the preseason Thunder race and show these guys that I'm coming back with a vengeance and I've got the speed.
Absolutely. That this white flag is presented by Speed Zone Race Control. Get hold of Speed Zone Race Control for all of your race control needs. They're very active, and you know they're very fair on all the calls that they make, and they'll make your races go very nice and smooth. As we see Andrew Teff come out of turn number 4, ladies and gentlemen, your Cup Series exhibition race winner, Andrew Teff in that number 98 Racers Elite Ford, followed by second place of Judson Curtis. Kensley Smith will round out your top 3. Looks like Kirby Wainscott, he got down in the grass post checkered flag. Let's go take a look, see what happened to him. He probably just came across the line and yanked it down through the. Oh no, he got tight.
Got up into the wall there.
Having a little bit of fun.
Okay, race over, going for a ride, going for a fun ride. These guys like to have fun after every one of their races, and what better way to go bouncing through the infield?
Oh, absolutely. One thing I absolutely, as we see Kensley Smith now driving on the backwards on the back straightaway here. I think he's eyeing for somebody. Let's see who he decides to hit. These drivers
always have fun post race. He's looking for just somebody to put that bumper to. Is he gonna find anybody? Looks like maybe he's giving. No, he's still going. I thought he was maybe gonna give up because he wasn't gonna find anybody here. He's gonna come down pit road backwards. He's gonna throttle this thing down.
Oh! Who was that victim?
Truth Hoke in the 55.
Oh man, Truth Hook in that number 55 having a good old time. These guys, you know, like you said, post race, you know, they somewhat set up for like a little demolition derby because, and I learned that the hard way from Andrew Teff, who we will speak with here momentarily. But before we do get down to your post race interviews, let's go ahead and take a look here at your final results. Go ahead and get these pulled up here for you. So Andrew Teff in that number 98 machine, he will come home first. Another strong win tonight and a good season momentum for the opener next week. Judson Curtis in that number 31 machine coming back out for a very strong finish. Kensley Smith in the number 15. Kirby Wainscott hanging up there in that 4th spot. Brandon Wilcox in the number 26. Robert Richardson in that number 49. He'll come home 6th there. David Davis in that 777 machine will bring it home 7th. Go play the lottery, David. Truth Hoke in that number 55 machine, he'll bring it home 8th. Matthew Cornell in that number 22 machine will bring it home 9th. Ira Kohlhaas will bring it home 10th in that number 29 machine.
Then we got Troy Thomas in that 88, going to come home in P11. Timothy in the 92 coming home in 12th. Barry in the 28 and 13th. Brandon Biddy, that number 30 Sharpie car, going to come home in 14th. William Skinner in the number 3 coming home in 15th. Terry Fennell in the 50 and 16th. Brett Bay in the 17 going to come home in 17th. Trevor Fettig in the 711 coming home in the P18. Mike Fudge in the number 2 coming home in 19th. Robert Wyatt in the 68 going to come home in P20. And Dennis Kane, unfortunately, I think he retired there after that incident with the 92 on the front stretch there, and he retired early. Going to come home in 21st.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was your finishing order. We're going to step away for just a brief moment, and when we come back, we will have our top 3 drivers for interviews. Stand by.
With a head of steam moving to the outside his chin, Richie says it can't be done. Tony Shallen says, turn on the reggae music. If you're gonna pass me, you're gonna do it high.
There is just one more lap remaining, and look how close Modoff is. He got the slipstream.
There we go. 2 laps to settle it in the Blue Emu Firecracker 400. Whatever you got to give it now. Back to green we go.
On the final lap, side by side, they still run wheel to wheel. Now, through the snake, the S as we go. Quaro edges ahead. Modoff is still there.
White flag, one more to go on the Daytona 250. Keplinger leads that lap. Who's going to lead the last one?
To the line. Look at that. Dave Chapman, he's going to send it around the outside final corner. Has he got it done?
Continuing to go side by side for the lead through 3 and 4, and they manage it safely. Now through 5.
And hunting for a way by it all.
Side.
Round 2 between Phil Sellinger and Gold.
To the outside. White flag is out side by side. They make contact in the turn number 1. Ooh, gets him onto the grass now down to the inside. Andy T, a little bit of a wiggle and the perfect crossover there from Polly Portson to defend the position. Andy T totally sideways. They're still sideways going into Siberia. And getting ready to cross. He goes around the outside, but it's not enough. Eden's up the racetrack. Carbo down the track. A photo finish. James Eden wins it.
It's still 4 abreast into the braking zone. This is sensational racing.
And here comes Bowden. It's going to be a drag race to the end. Then side by side, who gets it?
Williams tries to cover him off, but once again, pulling the over-under. Daniel Morad is going to win with a last corner pass.
Newsom's coming up right there. By the corner, it's going to be pinned.
There's nothing.
Mulliner's going to come back at him. It's going to be a race to the line. Does he have enough? Down to it.
And they're wrecking in 3. Here comes Michael Cozy Jr. Michael Cozy Jr.'s got the lead. He looks to the inside, side by side for the race lead.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway. As we just finished up the exhibition race leading up to the first race of the season next week. Well, let's go ahead and start off with our driver interviews. Let's go ahead and get Kensley Smith, the driver of that number 15 Monster Energy machine. Kensley, do you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Kensley, what an incredible run for you here today. I just want to say congratulations on your P3, but Mr. Russ, he's got some questions for you.
Well, number one, were you watching the broadcast at all while you were out there racing?
Yes, and as soon as I heard my name, I said it's over.
All right. So I was just gonna say, like, if you didn't and you went back and watched it, like whoever that was that sounded like me definitely didn't pick you to win. So, I know we have that little that joke of like it's that commentator curse of if somebody picks me, I'm not gonna win. But I guess you heard it. But hey, man, I mean, you were up front running strong there all night long, up there in the front, at least the top 3, led a whole bunch of laps. Take us back through your race and tell us what you maybe could have done a little bit different to make me look good yet again in the broadcast booth.
I think what really kind of put me behind is I pitted a little bit too early. I thought the leaders would have came in a little bit earlier than they did, because I was P3 sitting before pit stop started, and I figured I had to pit before them, but I kind of had to guess on when they were going to pit. So if I could go back, I'd probably change, wait another 5 laps and then pit, and I probably would have had some more tire left to try and put a fight up when they called me.
Yeah, I think I even said that during the broadcast when we saw that you were coming down pit road. I kind of thought it was a little bit early, but I tend to stop questioning decisions that guys like you or Andrew make, because you guys usually make me look bad when I do question them. So I was, like I said, I thought maybe it was kind of early, but I don't know if maybe you had some kind of a different strategy playing out. But so we've got this this preseason Thunder race here before the new season starts next season, and I know you're coming back harder than last season. I believe you're planning on making all the races.
For sure, I may miss one, but other than that, I'm gonna try everything I can to make every single one of them.
Well, I mean, what is your outlook moving forward into this new season? I mean, I haven't officially said it yet, but I definitely have said that if you make that I think if you make most all of the races, I think you're going to be a serious contender for the championship here in this series. We're used to seeing you running up front week in and week out. What's your mindset looking like moving into the new season starting next week in Kentucky?
Just get to work. Make sure I do a lot of practice sessions beforehand, and looking at the schedule, a lot of these tracks I favor heavily at. Ones like Kentucky, Las Vegas, um, Auto Club, Pocono, Talladega. Of course, it's anybody's game, but if you watched last Friday's race at Talladega in the next gens, I pushed a pack of 6 up to a pack of 11. We were 14 seconds down. So I feel like I have a decent chance at Talladega to at least gain a lot of points, especially that being the last race before the season finale.
Yeah, I mean, we know how you are at those plate tracks, man. You're usually always strong at those plate tracks. So, to have that race as that kind of cut race, it's one of those get as many points of where you can get them. But I was looking at that schedule, and that was one of the first things that came to my mind was I'm like, I think this schedule is going to kind of heavily benefit Kensley, just because of your driving style and how I've seen you run over the past 2 seasons at certain types of tracks. And that's why I said, like, I think you're definitely going to be probably one of the top contenders to fight for the championship in this series next season. And look forward to seeing you guys get back out there and calling the series again, starting there next week. But I mean, hey man, good luck to you this coming season, and I'll go ahead and turn it over to you and let you give out any shout outs that you got.
Thank you, sir. Of course, you guys in the booth, listening to it while I was racing, sounds like a hell of a broadcast. It's going to be fun to actually be able to rewatch and focus on it. And of course, Andrew does a phenomenal job putting this stuff together. Basically racing every single night of the week. This is a great league to join. If you need any day to race, join this league. There's a race. So props to Andrew for everything he puts into this, and of course all my guys at Driving Stream Inc. We're all gearing up for the next season, and we're all going to push towards the championship. If it ain't going to be me, it's going to be one of them. I can promise you that. And then, of course, my wife and my daughter letting me do this, allowing me to sit here and race in a completely different room from them for 2 hours almost every night is something that takes away from them, but they enjoy it because I enjoy it.
Well, absolutely, man. I mean, we enjoy talking with you up here in the booth, and hopefully we get the chance to do that again next week as this new season kicks off for the next gen series here at Racers Elite. And man, hopefully we get to talk to you next week.
Thank you.
Thanks, brother.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, driver the number 15 Monster Energy Chevrolet, Kensley Smith. Let's go ahead and get that second place finisher up here in the booth with us. Ladies and gentlemen, driver of that number 31 Chevrolet of Judson Curtis. Justin, do you got a copy?
Yes, sir. How y'all doing?
Doing pretty good. Do you want me to do this one here, or you got it?
No, go right ahead.
All right, Judson. So you had a very incredible race. Started out front, started on that pole. Came home second to none other than Andrew Teft. How was that number 31 Jack Link's Chevrolet feeling tonight?
Jack Link's Chevrolet was feeling pretty good. I was a little uncomfortable, man. The next gen cars, I just don't really quite understand them. But I felt like I was trying to save either the right front or the right rear most of the race. Obviously, didn't do a good enough job there with Andrew taking the win. And it's always a pleasure running behind him and learning. But I was just trying to save that right side. There was something going on that right side, but the next gen car is a handful sometimes. I just don't understand it, to be honest with you.
Well, for you not understanding it, running up here at second is absolutely incredible. We know you only have a handful of starts here with Racers Elite. Um, what's your plans for this upcoming season across all three seasons, and um, what kind of momentum will this bring to your season?
We got to carry it, man. See what we could do, and just keep the wheels rolling. Try to keep the nose clean, and place it up in the top 3 again.
Awesome. And before we let you go today, is there anybody that you would like to thank?
Yes, sir. Obviously, Jack Links, awesome company, awesome people. Go get you some. Mom and dad, my beautiful wife and son. My son's just kicking some ass in school. I'm sorry for my language there. Kicking butt in school. I'm so proud of the kid. So my kid, if you're watching this, bottom, proud of your son. Let's do it.
Oh, absolutely. Alrighty, buddy. We're going to go ahead and let you get going. Ladies and gentlemen, driver of that number 31, Jack Links, Chevrolet, Judson Curtis.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good evening.
You as well, buddy. You as well. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get the man of the hour once again. The one, the only Andrew Teff, driver of that number 98. Racers Elite McDonald's Ford Mustang. Andrew, that Ford Mustang was once again pretty quick. Man, you gotta tell us what your secret is.
Yeah, I was just trying to give some advice in Discord. Here it's all about the paint for me, trying to keep those lefts on the paint without touching the apron. And if you can do it, there's a ton of extra grip down there, a ton more grip just on the bottom in general. So, on entries, I try to get down low sort of early and take advantage of that grip early in the corner and just keep my lefts on the paint and save my right front. Try not to dive in too deep because these entries are just super inviting. You can really haul it off in there, but you pay for it on the long run. So just kind of got to hold yourself back a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. You come home first tonight here at Charlotte. I think you had your 2 for 3 for the week. How much momentum does this boost you up for this upcoming season here in the Cup cars?
Let's see. Next Gen has been my worst series, I guess. So it's nice to pick up some momentum in this series. I kind of ended the season on Thursdays a little rough, some penalties and an accident. So this isn't for points tonight, but it's just nice to pull one off in this car. It's kind of completely different animal from the trucks and the Xfinity cars.
Yeah, for sure. Russ, do you got any questions here for Andrew?
Oh, I mean, just another typical Andrew Teff kind of a night out there tonight. I mean, I said at the beginning of the race, that you were going to be one of the strong ones. I mean, I didn't pick you to win the race. The guy that I picked choked again, like normal. In Kensley, we joke about that. It's all in fun, but I said you were going to be one of the guys to keep an eye on here tonight, and you got it done. And you showed that speed again. Moving forward into this season, you looking for a little payback off of last season?
Not really. It would be nice to find as much success in the next gen car as I do in the other series, but still got a little bit of work to do. They're just a little tighter overall, kind of, I don't know, more front grip. It's hard to get them to step out, and I like to drive off the right rear, and this car drives more off the right front than anything, in my opinion. So just adapting to a different mindset, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that I've always struggled with this car too, is driving it off that right front. I never be able to figure out how to drive it off the right rear. But man, looking forward to calling again this season with the next gens, and look forward to talking to you up in the booth. And I'm gonna, I know you've joined us up in the booth here kind of on Tuesday nights. You're gonna be calling my races and nitpicking about me. So, I plan on nitpicking about you this season in the next gen. So.
Sounds like fun.
But well, I'm sure we'll have our back and forth this season, just having fun. But man, look forward to like I said, to calling these next gen races again, and talking to you up here in the booth. I'm sure probably multiple times throughout next season, and I'm sure you'll be a threat for the championship yet again this upcoming season. So before we let you go, we'll go ahead and turn it over to you and let you give any shout outs.
Yeah. Well, good luck on Tuesday. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, we've got 3 brand new seasons starting next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So you guys can tune back in at the same time, 7:45 Eastern. We'll have all kinds of excitement. Very full rosters also, so should be a lot to talk about. Trying out the booth this season in the truck series, like Russ was mentioning, and a little different. I like to be out there running. Trucks are probably my favorite, but it's nice to see a different perspective and watch some of these guys find success. Like Phil just got his first win on Tuesday. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for helping out in the booth tonight. And if the viewers don't mind doing us a favor, hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel homepage. Trying to get to 1,000. I think we've got about 120 left. So everybody helps. And I want to thank our servicemen and women, friends, family, team. And if you're interested in checking us out, you can find all of our info over at racerselite.com. You can find a Discord invite on there. Put me a message on Discord, and we'll get you all set up with whatever you want to run.
Beautiful.
Absolutely, man. We talked about that earlier. If you're looking for a place to run, this is the place to run. Something going on almost every day of the week. A lot of guys don't know how you handle it, but definitely give us a check out there at racerselite.com if you're interested in running with us here. And Andrew, looking forward to getting back out there next week in Kentucky for the season kickoff, and hopefully we'll talk to you again next week.
Yeah, definitely a team effort. Want to thank you guys, as always, at Racers Elite Network for helping me out with the coverage, and Chantel in Race Control with Speed Zone. She's incredibly consistent, always here helping out, and yeah, just a team effort. Can't do it by myself. So thank you to everybody.
Absolutely, brother. Talk to you next week.
Thanks.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that's the driver of that number 98 Racers Elite McDonald's Ford Mustang of Andrew Teft. Now I gotta go and make myself a little note to create an overlay that's gonna say Russ versus Andrew, and we're gonna keep tabs on how many times. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It just sounds like a great old time with you guys. Gonna be very interesting to hear the good banter between you both for this upcoming season.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. He told me he was gonna be calling the truck series and that he was just gonna nitpick on every little thing that I did throughout the season. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to get him back, and I'm gonna do the same thing. Only difference is I give plenty of nitpicking reasons where he doesn't quite give quite as many. So
Absolutely. Normally through at this time, I'd be saying, let's go ahead and take a look at our points and whatnot. But for now, we're going to actually take a look here at our race schedule. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, right here on Racers Elite Network, 7:45, we will be going green flag at Kentucky. And then we'll be going to the fast sweeping corners of Las Vegas and Chicagoland the following week. And we will finish out November at Watkins Glen, turning left and right. Other than that, what do you have any final thoughts on the races today, the upcoming season, and before we get you out of here as well?
yeah, no, I mean, I'm just like I said, tonight kind of went how I expected. It's kind of a typical Races Elite race here at Charlotte. I mean, a lot of new guys showed up here tonight. A lot of guys, showing some good speed there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to calling this series again with my normal producer there, Brandon Massey. We'll be back with you again next Thursday night to get this new season kicked off and underway. Brandon had kind of prior commitment that he kind of forgot about here tonight, so appreciate you to stepping up and producing here tonight with me. And like I said, just looking forward to getting this new season underway next week at Kentucky.
Yeah, absolutely. We had an absolute phenomenal show for you guys right here at Racers Elite Network. We ran 105 laps, only one caution, and that was for trouble. Oops, I think I probably cut out there for a split second, so I apologize about that. Anyway, on behalf of myself and the one, the only Russ Martin, we thank everybody for joining us here tonight on Racer Elite Network, and we will see you guys next week when we head over to Kentucky for the season opener of the Thursday Night Cup Series right here on Racer Elite Network. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you guys next time. Happy time zones.
He's opening the door right there. Run. With a head of steam moving to the outside his chin. Richie says it can't be done. Tony Shallen says turn on the reggae music. If you're gonna pass me, you're gonna do it high.
There is just one more lap remaining, and look how close Modoff is. It got the slipstream.
There we go. 2 laps to settle it in the Blue Emu Firecracker 400. Whatever you got to give it now. Back to green we go.
On the final lap, side by side, they still run wheel to wheel. Now, through the snake, the S as we go. Quaro edges ahead. Modoff is still there.
White flag, one more to go on the Daytona 250. Kepler leads that lap. Who's going to lead the last one?
To the line. Look at that. Dave Chapman, he's going to send it around the outside final corner. Has he got it done?
Continuing to go side by side for the lead through 3 and 4, and they manage it safely. Now through 5.
And hunting for a way by it all. Between Phil Sell and Rico
To the outside. White flag is out side by side. They make contact in the turn number 1.
Ooh, gets onto the grass now, down to the inside. Andy T, a little bit of a wiggle and the perfect crossover there from Polly Portson to defend the position. Andy T totally sideways. They're still sideways going into Siberia.
And getting ready to cross. He goes around the outside, but it's not enough. Eden's up the racetrack. Car broke down the track.